Welcome back to 101 East, this week coming to you from Bangkok in Thailand. Now, a key part of the Thai government's battle against illegal drugs is to persuade farmers not to grow the opium poppy. But farmers say it's not that easy because they have very few alternative options. Here's one farmer's story in his own words.
My name is Lango Lumi. I am a hill tribe man from the Lisu community. I have used opium since I was young. I don't have much money to provide for my family. We are very poor. I grow the opium for money and so the sick people can use it. I plant it by myself. It takes about 4 or 5 months. I can make about 40 or 50,000 baht. Not this year. This year the military has come to cut it. We grow the opium on a lot of land, but they always cut it. All they give us are blankets and rice. In 2 or 3 days, the rice will be gone. I planted the opium for a year, but now I cannot keep it. I have nothing. The sick are dying, and we don't have the opium to use. We are going to die with nothing.
Still with me here in Bangkok to continue our discussion on the drug situation in Southeast Asia, I have Mr. Akira Fuji, who's the UNODC Asia-Pacific representative for Bangkok. I have also Mr. Pitaya Jinawat, who's the Deputy Secretary General of Thailand's Office of Narcotics Control Board, and Mr. Kraisik Chunhavan, who's an opposition MP here in Thailand. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with us. Mr. Fujino, let me begin with you and go back to a point you made in the first half, which is that these issues must be regarded in an international sense here. We have a number of countries that are involved in what's called the Golden Triangle, all of which play a part. Is the international element causing a problem, or is it actually giving greater resources to fighting this battle?
Well, actually, there are both elements are there. For instance, we talk about opium, and we talk about methamphetamine, that is a synthetic drug. Now, when you talk about opium, the farmers that had to rely on opium poppy needs to get alternative means of livelihood. It is now that the farmers require assistance to make it sustainable alternative development.
And there's been an effort to actually provide the farmers with alternative cash crops. How successful has that been?
It is not enough. In Thailand, it took over 30 years. Now, in Myanmar and Laos, where opium production is going down, it is now that the farmers require assistance.
From a Thai perspective, has it been enough? Has there been enough effort made and incentive given to farmers to get off the drug crops?
Yes, I think that we have a certain evidence. 30 years ago, there were about 20,000 hectares of opium poppy cultivation in Thailand. But this year, it's about just 200 hectares.
Are you quite as optimistic on that?
The major producers of methamphetamine and other drugs, including heroin and morphine, mostly comes from Burma, that's Shan state. And it came through the ceasefire agreement between the so-called WA state and the SPDC, the military government. And they allowed more or less free hand, and they export into China in huge amount and to Thailand.
In the UN's opinion, is the diplomacy working? Is there enough commitment?
I would like to separate the political aspect from what the competent authorities are doing, like Office of the Narcotics Control Board, because they, notwithstanding the politicians that changed, cabinets that changed, but the competent authorities and the heads and the senior officials, they remain the same. And then we have very good cooperation with all the countries in this Greater Mekong sub-region. In fact, that has not changed. It's a practical collaboration that matters.
Do you think there is enough collaboration?
Yes, on the table, definitely. But we share such a vast area, and sparsely, I would say, controlled. The border between Thai and Burma is 2,000 kilometers. With Laos is equally big. You see, so it's so porous that any shipment can come in at any time.
The Thai government and the Myanmar government should surely be actually engaging at a much higher level than this. The Myanmar government is facing serious accusations of being complicit in the drug trade at a governmental level, and yet the Thai government is happy to deal with them on a business level without bringing the subject up.
Both countries have a very good cooperation in exchanging information or even in joint operation between the border line. Sometimes I think there might be some conflicts along the border line. But in terms of cooperation on the dark matters, I think I dare say that excellent cooperation. We learn from each other.
Well, the officers on both sides must have such collaboration. But the reality is the fact that Burma harbors probably the biggest drug dealers and have in fact allowed them to become the foremost sector owner of real estate, of contractors, hotels, tourism, etc. And many of these Kokang people, many of these ex-dealers,
which was my point, and yet the Thai government doesn't seem to cause a fuss about that.
Well-known regional producers and dealers are mostly living in Rangoon now, you know, with proper registered business. So it's part of the economy. Drug dealing has become integrated part of the Burmese economy. I'm sorry to say so.
And is the Thai government's response to that appropriate?
Well, the Thai government has always stopped being interested in that. It's only interested now in perhaps you know, its gas. Now interested in building a deep sea port in Tavoy, etc. And not so much into drugs. Drugs become secondary.
Well, we should be talking about practical, what is being done practically. Now, under our UN project, there is a cross-border cooperation project through which we have established a large number of border liaison offices. Information is exchanged on their own, and they're working. And for instance, Thailand has the joint patrol with Laos, providing assistance to Laos. And when, for instance, a few months ago, there was a patrol boat from Myanmar that was assaulted, and then Thailand immediately provided assistance. It was an unfortunate incident.
Of course,
so there are things that prevent traffickers from getting what they need to get.
Of course,
and
there is no surprise that the UN is speaking in these terms and talking about liaison and diplomacy and
it's not diplomacy I'm talking about. I'm talking about practical means that we have.
But
and
does
it's
it
not
not
only
worry
by
you?
two countries.
Does it not worry you that you hear the Thai government talking in terms of thousands of deaths as being a price worth paying to achieve the government aims, whereas you're trying to talk about practical solutions in a much more humane and UN-orientated way?
This time, particularly, the government, for instance, when the Minister of Justice speaks of promoting the rule of law, application of rule of law, and then when the Deputy Prime Minister spoke to about 300 of high-ranking officials and the governors of 75 provinces at the beginning of April, pointing out it's the rule of law that must be applied properly, and it is the drug users must be treated as patients, etc. So
is the Thai government willing to give the assurance that the rule of law will be adhered to and it will open itself up to international examination to make sure that this is not happening and we don't see the taxing
I made a clear
problems
statement
recurring?
In Vienna when I attended CND meeting as the heads of delegates from Thailand. And Thailand is open, to be monitored from international NGO or any international organization. And we confirm this policy, to relevant meetings, even to the law enforcement specifically. So be assured that the law enforcement will implement the suppression program in line with the rule of law principle.
Is the legal system in these countries that are most affected sufficient to deal with the problem that we have and to implement, as you say, an idea of treating this as a patient issue and not an abuse issue?
Well, there is an element of abuse as well. The treatment is also necessary. Prevention is also essential, the education is essential, treatment, rehabilitation in the society, etc., relapse prevention, all those are necessary. It's not just one.
But are they in place in these countries?
Right. There are many areas where much needs to be done. Yes, that is correct.
Is Thailand implementing ideas like this?
Since we are on the process of reviewing existing policy or even laws, DAC laws, for instance, the capital punishment was raised among the relevant agencies. And my office conducted the workshop 2 years ago to review it, whether it's appropriate time, to adjust the law, as even another policy like a harm reduction. So I would confirm that as the policy body, we have to depend on truth or fact, or even the academic results and the social value of the Thai people. So we are open, not biased, to be biased in developing the policy.
Okay, and as it gets warmer here in Bangkok, that seems an appropriate time to wrap this up. Gentlemen, thank you all very much indeed for talking to us today. And that's all from 101 East. See you again next time.